welcome to another episode of the Black Briefing Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Samantha Douglas.
I'm Wild Style for sure.
Wild Style for sure. For sure. We are back, y'all. I know y'all missed us. We have missed you as well. Oh my God. But we're back. We're back here. We're working on that other episode that we missed. We did record an episode, y'all. We just had technical difficulties.
It was a mess.
And listen.
But we had a good time, but it was...
We had a good time.
Maybe too good of a time because the technology was like,
rough
hold
on
on.
the back end. Yeah, it was rough on the back end. But we're still working on it. It'll probably just be some kind of bonus material we can go back because we do cover a lot of the things that was happening around that time. And so, yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. We did not quit. We did not stop. We did record. We just missed it. And then we had a very, very busy October, as everywhere else did too, obviously.
Yeah, we've always been.
So we're here now though.
Yeah, and I'm assuming this might go out before the other podcast, so we are Gregless.
We are Gregless. We are Gregless. For those of you who haven't seen it or do not know, Greg decided to leave the podcast, and we wish him the best. But yeah,
hopefully he comes back to visit sometime and updates us about the conditions of the Black church and some other places.
Hilarious. Hilarious. So today, so this is technically episode 11 to us, okay? You guys will eventually get 10, I promise. But this is episode 11. And obviously, there's been a crap ton of things happening. Oh my God.
We can't cover it all.
This is real life scandal. It's real life scandal. Every day I wake up and it's just like, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. It's just out of control. And we don't have a real long list today. We have a short list, but I promise you.
It's all craziness.
It's all craziness. It's all craziness. So first up, J.D. Vance and Erika Kirk. Okay. The hug that will go down in history.
It was
all right.
It was a Christian hug. Christ-like, I'm assuming, right? They're both.
She did not leave room for Jesus. Okay, let me tell you, that was not a Christian hug.
Left Jesus out of the.
There was no room for Jesus, not in her leather pants, and not between her and Vance.
And wasn't enough.
Bars that rhymed.
and no room between for her husband's memory.
That's a fact. Anytime you hear a woman say, or I mean anybody, a man say that this person could never replace their deceased loved one, it's like, baby, he's not even an option. He's married. His wife is in the audience,
but she's not Christian, so.
And that's what
I'm just saying.
When I saw him say something about that, like he hopes she converts to Christianity soon.
Yeah, he's like,
I'd like that he's setting the stage with the Christians for it to be okay for him to get a divorce. Like, that's sick.
He's telling her, like, look, Erika over here, like, look,
crazy.
Either you're gonna love Jesus or you're gonna be loving another man.
You remember how people, and this is a very early 90s, 80s thing of me to say and do. But you remember how people would turn around backwards and they would do like this to their head and it looked like somebody was making out with them. Literally, that's what Erika Kirk does to the back of J.D. Vance's head. Like it was fingers in his hair, his hands was on her waist.
Yeah, it was. I mean, look, I'm not trying to get racial, but it's not, you don't normally see like highfalutin white people hug each other like that. They're always pretty kind of straight-laced.
Yes.
Upper back, very stiff.
Yes.
I was like, are y'all at the club? I mean, she was dressed like she was at the club.
I thought people were just gassing it. And then I saw it myself and I was like, whoa.
And them
super inappropriate.
And I mean, you know, he had no choice because she was dressed like them jeans were upholstered on. You know how he loves couches.
There's
sectional healing.
I seen a meme. I might put it up, but it was a picture of his wife just kind of looking just like stale, and it was like when you want to put him on the couch, but you're worried because he'll F that too.
Yeah, oh can't even make him sleep on the couch because he won't be sleeping. I feel so sorry for his wife.
Oh my God, me too. What's her name? Usha?
Yeah, I think that's her
Usha?
name.
Oh my
Hopefully,
God.
and I don't know if she knew what she was getting because I think when they married, he was still a Democrat or something. He used to be a Democrat.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Did he really? I didn't know that.
He wrote that hillbilly elegy or something. He wasn't a Republican.
Wow.
So she like his values have definitely changed. She may not have married the man that he is now.
You know what's worse than somebody who is like, I don't know. The only thing that's worse than somebody who's like Uber on like that side of things is somebody where you don't know where they
stand.
I feel the same way about Trump, about him, because you remember he hated Trump.
Mm-hmm.
He hated Trump. There is video footage, media footage,
and he was very articulate in explaining why he hated. So he understands, like,
and none of those things that he said about Trump has changed. FYI.
But I mean, but you also got to look at Erika Kirk. She said she loved her husband. I'm like, what has it been? It's only been like not even 2.5 months.
Yeah.
But
I can't imagine. I'm not going to judge anybody else's grief or their process or anything like that. But I could not imagine my husband being killed in such a horrific way.
And you find and carrying on and publicly with a married man
on stage. Okay.
But
I don't know. I'm gonna mind my black business, but
at least if Charlie Kirk is probably looking up, knows that it's a qualified white man that took his job. And that's all that matters.
Is it?
I'm just saying.
According
to
his standards.
I mean, the first thing he's probably looking, this man hugging my wife, is he qualified? Well, he's a qualified white man.
Yikes. Okay. Next thing. Beckwith and his freaky friends.
Woo.
Ooh-wee. I don't know if y'all seen it. I do not know if y'all seen it. But Beckwith is a pastor, contrary to the way that he acts. Okay.
Who works? He is the underpastor of the church.
Yes.
And his best friend who had, what's the podcast called again?
Jesus, Sex, Jesus, and
Jesus, Politics, and Sex.
Jesus, Politics, and Sex.
I think that's the name of it.
I think we got the order wrong.
Hold on, let me go find this out.
Sex is definitely first with them, though. Well, clearly,
sex is gonna be first in the story.
But I don't remember the order. But yeah, so he leads. Is it Life Church? Life Church he's a pastor.
Yeah, up in Noblesville.
The Life Church here. Yeah, and my God today.
Jesus, Sex, and Politics.
Jesus, Sex, and Politics.
So sex is in between the Jesus and politics.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the sex is coming before the Jesus and the politics.
Well, I mean, allegedly, so the pastor's son, and the pastor's best friends and the head pastor of the church that Beckwith is at. The son was, he was caught with child sexual abuse material.
They said abuse and porn, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's child. It's all the same. I think it's a new term for it.
Yeah, sex abuse and porn and stuff. And then they also said that he has, his name is Jonathan Petronell.
Petronell, yeah. I think I don't know how to say that.
What? I'm dead serious. Oh my God. Oh God. But yeah.
I gotta look that.
Jonathan Wesley Petronell is charged with child exploitation and possession of child sex abuse material.
So it means that he was actually molested.
Child sex crimes. Facing multiple charges of child sex crimes. The investigation began after Hamilton County Metro Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force got a tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The tip came from Snapchat, allegedly showing 5 files of suspected child abuse material involving underage children. Detectives got a search warrant for Jonathan's Snapchat account, where detectives say more child sex abuse material was found, along with evidence that Petronell was sharing videos with others. A search warrant on his home led detectives to find more than 200 files of child sex abuse material, some of which included sadomasochistic.
Sadomasochistic. Oh, I can't. Now you messed me
say
up. I
that
could have said
word.
it if you had said that first. Sadomasochistic. S&M.
Okay.
It's S&M. That's all I know.
Child abuse, children who appeared to be drugged or intoxicated while being abused, violent child molestation, and AI-generated photos of nude pregnant toddlers. Petronell was arrested and is currently being held at Madison County Jail.
I don't think I read some of them details. I read some of it.
I definitely did not.
I didn't understand that last.
I definitely did not. But then they came out after this and said that he also had images of his parents.
50 images. I read that part.
Disgusting.
50 images of his parents nude and having sex.
And it begs the question, like, what the is he? Were these allowed? Were these not allowed? Were these pictures he took from his parents, or were these pictures he took of his parents?
That's what I would imagine. If they were victims, they wouldn't be named. And he would be charged with like some sort of crime against them if it didn't look like they were complicit.
Yeah. Oh my God. Was that an actual article with the parents stuff, or is it just
the Indiana Capitol Chronicle had an article about it because I shared that one.
Yeah. Okay. About the parent stuff too. Mm-hmm. Okay. I didn't even see.
Yeah, it was in there because a lot of the because at first I didn't know it was one person saying it, and they had some screenshots of an affidavit or something, but I couldn't find it in the articles, but. Uh-huh. They actually posted and said,
Jesus.
And yeah, that's what happened.
Wow.
And I don't think that they would name the parents in there if it looked like they were victimized or there was like some surveillance going on, like that they didn't know about.
Yeah. And that would be a charge too.
It would be a charge. And that's not one of the charges. So
it's nasty work.
There's some freaky frogs in that family.
1000% worse than freaky. He's disgusting. But
that's sound like incest.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And also, I just want.
And the guy's only 24 years old, so I would imagine if that's the relationship which you have with your parents, it's probably a reason why you're into child molestation as a 24-year-old.
I mean, well, we know it's a statistical fact that perpetrators were usually victims.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and at 24, he's not very far from being a child himself.
Ugh.
And there's some stuff going on.
It's so horrific, but what's even more horrific is his proximity to. Well, it's not more horrific. I shouldn't say that. But what's also horrific is his proximity with our lieutenant governor,
who also. More information has come out is that there's apparently video of this young man in the church because the investigation started in September. Mm-hmm. The charges weren't made public until October. So there was weeks that he was still at the church around all of these people's families with kids and stuff like that. While the investigation.
And y'all knew that he was under investigation and y'all still had him endangering these children.
And this is the lieutenant governor that was knocking on doors over in Avon or Plainfield to stop a
who feels
education?
Who feels like the 3/5 compromise was a good thing. Who feels like, I could just go down the list on all the ridiculous things he said. But listen, let me tell you something. When you see red flags about people, unless they have some kind of major, event or shift in their life, when we see these red flags, we need to believe them.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been saying the whole time who he is, what he's about,
yes,
inconsistencies, like
the whole time. And we are still, even Republicans, this is on y'all too. Like, y'all have got to do something about your own twisted, effed up people. Like, what in God's name?
And Christians.
And Christians at that.
This man is a pastor, and his friend's son, who is his pastor, has pictures of the pastor and the first lady of the church having sexual relations.
Right. Has Beckwith, I haven't seen any statements.
He's not responded to anything about it.
And that is out of pocket. Because you can't always control what people do around you, but you can control how you respond, how you react. You left this dude that you knew was being investigated around children, and he further endangering them. And then even once it came out, you still haven't put out a statement, stood on anything. You can't just come and say that child molestation and abuse is wrong.
And I just want to know if they're gonna do the Jesus politics sex. What is this called? Jesus Sex and Politics podcast. Like I might have to tune in for the next episode.
Oh my God, wasn't
one of our state senators on the podcast with Beckwith?
Yeah, Nasty G. We ain't forgot about you, friend.
Wow, that's crazy.
We haven't forgot about
crazy.
You, Nasty G. You need to go to. That's the proximity.
That's the freak podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? I've got some freaks up in there.
You got some freaks up in there. Okay.
Wow.
Y'all are in the wrong profession.
Clearly, it's podcasting. Y'all need to be doing podcasting.
Yikes. Okay, we're going to get from the nasty stuff to the more... and we just got news about this week. So redistricting in Indiana, I've talked about it multiple times on Cameron Riddle's podcast. I feel like we haven't talked about it as much on this podcast.
We didn't think they were just stupid enough.
I did not think, legitimately, and I will just hold that L. I did not think they were going to be stupid enough to do this, but here we are.
We're more Braun than brains.
That's a fact. We are more Braun than brains. We should put that on here. Redistricting, more Braun than brains. That's a fact. Because what is going on? So, first of all, for those of you who don't know, or maybe even are watching for the first time, there's been a national push from the federal level, obviously from the president, from the White House, for states to redraw their congressional districts to favor more Republicans, so to get more Republican seats. Now, this is illegal. They're not supposed to be able to do this. So
is everything else that's been going on for the last 10 months.
But
illegal.
You cannot draw lines. It's called gerrymandering. But you cannot draw lines to favor a particular party. But here we are. Now, I also want to acknowledge, yes, this has happened on the other side as well. Okay? Yes. It's wrong no matter who does it. Okay? Period. Now, but I find a Republican to say that though. Okay. Now, with this redistricting, there's been pressure on Indiana as well.
Yeah, the vice president came here in person to get them in line. Yeah, to get them in line.
The vice president has come here. JD Vance, Sir Hugs a Lot, has come here 3 times to try to talk our legislators into redistricting. Now,
and almost failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To our legislators' credit, to our Republican legislators' credit, there was a lot of concerns on who's going to pay for it, because I've seen numbers like $250,000 to do this.
We got the money to pay for it, but they don't want to do it. It's stupid.
They don't want to. It's very stupid. It's supposed to be informed by the census, which we ain't had a new census. And we won't have one for another, 6 years? So there's several concerns around why this should or should not happen. I also think that some Republicans are smart enough to realize
this
could backfire. That is a real possibility. And if it does, who's going to hold the bag?
The redistrict like this, what it does is it actually puts more Democrats in all of their seats, so that they'd have to fight harder. At the same time that the president and Congress and people and what people think is the direction of the country is at its worst. Like, I think it's like 2/3 said that the country's going in the wrong direction right now.
Yeah. Yes.
So not only this, I'm not going to say it might backfire. This will backfire. There will be
backfire.
Some Republicans that were safe will lose their seats over this redistricting.
Yes.
And then they might get rid of some or all of the Democrats, but I don't know. That's not a given.
I felt slightly, not necessarily a big difference, but I did feel a little different when I thought they were dangling, redraw our state seats districts as well. But they're not even doing that. So all of the ones that are in jeopardy are still going to be in jeopardy, but they're just rolling the dice with new districts that they think are going to be. And I've seen the projected numbers. It's plus Republican this and but yeah,
it's going to require them to spend a lot of money. It's going to require people to get out, Republicans to get out there and work harder, which nobody, either side wants to work harder.
That's a fact. Neither side. Okay,
and all this when you have an albatross like Trump and Vance and all of them dragging the whole Republican, and they're going to drag the Republican ticket down. It's going to be harder to get Republican voters to go vote for them. And then you want to make it harder. Like it already would have been difficult if Trump was doing okay.
Yep.
But he's not okay. Like even Republicans are fearful.
And I pointed this out on Cameron Riddle's podcast before, and I'll point it out here. Losing the midterm, losing at least one part of Congress is a very normal thing.
It is. It almost always, even good presidents.
Almost always happens. Almost always. Like, think about it. Obama led us out of a financial crisis.
And he still
lost it. Like, that happens all the time. It happens most of the time, actually. I think it's only not happened a couple of times in our history.
But this one has led us into a financial crisis. SNAP benefits are cut off. Federal workers aren't the ones that got to keep their jobs, are not getting paid to do their jobs.
Healthcare subsidies are going to be up, and that's gonna make in some areas health premiums quadruple.
7 million people came out for those No Kings protests. What do you think's going to happen Election Day next year?
Yeah, it's so much easier to vote than to stand out in the cold.
I don't think that this is going to go the way that
it's not going to.
That Republicans that want redistricting think.
It's not going to. I think this is what I'll say. There's been multiple articles, and I'll make sure I link them, of course. But there's been multiple articles about the House feels they have the votes. My gut agrees.
Yeah, they usually do because there are a bunch of wackos in the House.
The Senate feels like still that they do not have the votes.
Because they're typically more reserved and smarter on things.
Yes. And so I think that's the same thing. Now, I've learned my lesson, though, on saying that I don't think it's going to... There's some people that would venture out to say that, like, it'll make it through the House, it'll die in the Senate. I think we see it come out of the House for sure. I think the districts come from the House. They will come out. I think they'll make it out. They'll go to the Senate. And then what I've learned my lesson on, though, is I'm not going to say for sure that it doesn't make it out of the Senate. I think currently when they say they don't have the votes, I think that's truthful. But I think we should not underestimate the amount of pressure. So we see the public pressure that they get. And you can bet your bottom dollar they're experiencing a whole different layer of pressure behind closed doors.
But I'm also to the point where I'm so confident that they're not going to get what they want at it. I don't care one way or other. Redistrict, don't redistrict. You're still going to end up facing the consequences next year.
I think it's going to be bad either way. Yeah, I think it's going to be bad either way. I think it's going to be bad for Republicans throughout the state, regardless of what seat you hold. I think it's going to be bad. I posed this question before, but Republicans really have to start thinking about what this Trump alignment is going to do to their political career long term. Because one of the things with Trump is like, yes, we happen to have a situation where we have a wacko as president and wackos around him, and he's pushing this very strategic, specific agenda that me and Wildstyle tried to warn all y'all about.
Project 2025.
Project 2025. That's what we're seeing play out every single day. That's what this is. And then literally as it's playing out, Trump is just grabbing all his little coins that he can while that's
he's
happening.
Making bank.
So while all of this is going on, there's always a pendulum swing. There's always a pendulum swing. And one of the things that protects you, especially in politics with these pendulum swings, is sticking to values. Sticking to values or sticking with your people. If they choose to redistrict, they are doing neither. They are going against their values. They are going against their people and what the people of Indiana are saying. And I would like to remind elected Republicans as well that when you were elected to that seat, you are not just there to represent the people who voted for you. You are there to represent all the people of your districts and all the people of the state of Indiana. And you are doing a terrible job when you're reflecting us in this way, when we're all telling you that we don't want this and you guys are deciding to do it anyway because some piece of crap comes and decides that he wants more power.
But let's be clear, they're not representing the people that voted for them. A lot of people that voted for them are actually on SNAP benefits. In Indiana, like every other state in the union, there are more white people on SNAP than there are black people.
There are specifically in the marketplace, by the way, there are a significant amount more Republicans in the ACA marketplace, the Affordable Care Act marketplace. Obamacare, as y'all love to call it.
ACA.
More of y'all are on Obamacare than any other group in the country. More than Democrats, more than independents.
And soybean farmers that are getting screwed by because of the trade war and the other what is the cattle farmers? That they're about to import beef.
And we're giving billions of money to Argentina to help them, but not helping our farmers here. It's all bad.
All of those people voted for y'all.
Yep.
And y'all aren't even taking care of them.
Yep. His approval ratings, Trump's approval ratings are tanking. They're some of the worst we've ever seen.
I was surprised that because there's so many wackos in this country that the poll I saw was 2/3 felt the country was going in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Yes.
That's a lot. Like even in Trump's first term, it never got to like 2/3. It felt like we were just going in the wrong direction. It was always pretty close.
And I want to, IDAC has been putting out a Substack post educating people too on how this dilutes the marginalized vote, Black people, people of color, immigrants. But for the general resident, I want to explain to you. So like when we redistrict, so they have to put a certain number. It's 700,000, I think, roughly 700 and some thousand people in each district because the districts have to be evenly balanced with the number of people, okay? Not land, people, okay? And then with that, what they're trying to redistrict, they're trying to draw them in a way so that the Democrat vote is diluted.
They're spread across all these different districts, and there's not enough Democrats in any one district to elect a Democratic representative. That's what their hope is.
Right. The challenge with that is, and this is, so I hear a lot of Republican, like Jim Banks and stuff like that, saying the Indiana's red through and through. We should have all Republican representation. But it's like, no, actually, according to the last two primaries, our voters, we're about 25% Democrat. We are 25% Democrat statewide. So right now, the fact that we have 2 out of 9, that's about 22%. So we are a little under our representation as it sits now. And you're telling us that we should remove those 2 so that we have all Republican representation. What that means for you, especially if you're a Democrat in the state of Indiana, they're silencing us at a federal level. They are silencing us at a federal level. We are not represented. We're not.
And I mean, part of that, I think we all have our opinions on right or wrong, and there was definitely a lot of wrong in it. Like our 2 representatives in the House hadn't been able to get a whole lot done for us.
No, it's 2 out of 9.
Out of 9 anyway.
Yeah.
Republicans on a local level gain nothing.
Yeah.
On a national level, even if they were to win, Indiana gets nothing out of this. No,
Nothing.
you would not get.
Indiana
none of y'all
gets
would get
nothing. We get nothing. We get to play as a small pawn in
Trump's
these.
game.
Yes,
Trump
literally.
Trump's gonna get his family fed off of the backs of Indiana. Will these two more Republicans in Congress bring home the bacon for Indiana? Well, none of them have been bringing home, Democrat or Republican. None of them have been bringing home the bacon.
That's a
fact. Don't think that's going to change because you got two more out of 9.
No, it's not. That's not. It only hurts us. It hurts us as a people the most because representation is so incredibly important. And I would feel this way if it was the other way around as well. I assure you, because I think there's power in that balance and in the pendulum swinging. There's power in that. I think that's what's wrong with our state house right now. And I also think that's what's wrong with our city council. I have said this multiple times, that supermajorities are harmful because it is the balance of different ideologies. It's the power of diversity, even in thought and perspective, that gives us legislation and policy that ends up benefiting ordinary people.
And one party rule just doesn't work. I mean,
it does not work.
Socialist countries have tried. Dictatorships try. It typically fails. One party rule. Like you need some people to handle different things. You need to have a different perspective. You also need to have an alternative when one person gets in bed with a whole bunch of corruption, and people can go like, nah, we're gonna go over here. At least these people are gonna prioritize us.
A fact. Because think about it. Braun is a perfect example of that, because he should not have called this special session to begin with.
And they kept telling him not to.
The IGA was telling him not to do it, and the people were telling him not to do it, and he still decided to do it. That lets you know right there that he will prioritize his own interests or Trump's interests over our people and even over his colleagues.
And ultimately, like they're gonna probably boot him out of office. So I'm being honest, like
he's gonna have to be.
I've talked to enough angry Republicans. They are hot.
Yeah, and they should be. They should be.
As far as him supposedly being a business governor, only a few people are making money. Like everybody else is hurting.
Yeah. I mean, and I love the pushback. So he called a special session. So the only way this redistricting is possible is because he has the ability to call a special session on redistricting. Okay, so he called a special session to begin this week, actually. And I love that the IGA came back and said, no, we'll talk about it the first 2 weeks of December. That just came out at the top of this week.
I mean, that was a SmackDown move right there.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah.
We'll get to
actually,
it.
we won't. Yeah.
We'll get to it when we get to it.
Yes. Now, this is what I want to encourage people to do. If you feel like this is wrong, I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, or whatever. If you feel like this is wrong, what we need to do is make sure that we keep the heat, keep the pressure until then. Because what we do is we lose steam, it weakens, and then it goes soft, and they're able to get some BS through. And we need not to do that. We need to make sure that we're keeping their feet to the fire and saying, we do not want this. Okay. We do not want this. So it doesn't matter how many times it takes or who you have to hit up. I even hit up my state rep is Mitch Gore. I know exactly how he feels about this. I know exactly how he's voting on this. Right. And I still send an email to him anyway. Okay, send emails, make calls to your elected officials. You can find your legislators. Literally, it's Find My Legislators on IndyGov's website or the IGA website or whatever. It's the IGA's website. But you can type into Google, though, Find My Legislator Indiana, and it will come up. You can click on the link. You can put in your address, and you can find out who all of your elected officials are for the state. You need to hit them up and let them know that you do not want this, because there are a whole lot of Republican elected officials that have not publicly stated where they stand on this. And some are hiding because they don't want the judgment, right? But and both from people and the pressure from Trump and stuff, right? So like some are hiding for both now, but there's some that are probably truly undecided, that they don't know yet how they're going to vote on this thing. And you want to make sure that they know that you don't want this as their constituent. So you need to make sure that you're reaching out and that you're doing everything that you can to let them know how you feel about this. Because like I said, if you're gonna, it's like you're gonna let somebody kidnap you and you just, oh, well, whatever. Or you at least gonna fight and kick and scream and try to do something, right? So let's go.
And they're kidnapping democracy. That's what's going on.
They're kidnapping democracy, and we need to be fighting and screaming and doing things. So definitely reach out and do that. I may put the QR code on the screen actually, so that you can scan it and find your elected officials and send them an email. Also, another thing, on IDAC's Substack, we actually have a little script too that you could copy and paste. So if you go to idac.substack.com, which is idaac.substack.com, and I'm not saying it's a Democrat platform, you don't have to follow it, but I'm just saying you can go to on there, and we have a script that we just posted, I think this morning. We have a script on there that you can copy and paste. Just fill in your name, your district number, and it says that you don't want redistricting. That's it. It's nothing more, nothing less. Anybody can use that. But I encourage you all to reach out and let them know how you feel, because we need to at least attempt to fight for this. But I feel like Wild Style does. I think either way,
I don't care. I think that
it's going to be rough.
If they sometimes what's that saying? Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And I think that's what this is going to be. I don't care.
That's a fact. I think it's interesting.
My mom used to say stuff like that, knock yourself out. And that's literally what they're going to do.
Knock yourself out. You know, there was one other thing too that I was curious about, which I didn't know if anybody had considered. But we've been assuming too with this whole redistricting thing that they're either going to do like all or nothing. And I've been curious about what happens if they try to take a middle route where they draw us out of the Northwest, so they get rid of Mervan, but they leave Carson alone.
But I don't think they would go for that, because then everybody up there has to work harder, and then nobody else has to work harder in the other part of the state.
Well, but I'm saying like it's kind of so like Trump, but it kind of not as many that would have to work hard if they redistrict the whole state.
But that's the thing. And they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight because the ones that don't have to work harder, are getting an advantage.
That's true.
Like that's why I don't think that
that's true.
They would all have to agree. Like, no, we're all gonna put in more work. Well, why does so and so, just because he's over on the northern half, not have to? He has to work harder. Like,
that's true. I was just throwing
and they're
out
petty like that too. Like,
yes, they are. Unfortunately, Okay, but that's all the time we'll give to that. I definitely wanted to make sure that we explain and talk about how that's going and what's going on with it. Next thing is SNAP benefits and government shutdown. So I feel like unless you're under a rock, you already know that the government is shut down, especially because it's shut down a lot of, of the resources. So SNAP, Medicaid, all of these things are losing money, and you're losing access to resources.
Nearly 42 million Americans receive food stamps, providing households just over $350 a month on average as of May.
Jesus. And I've seen some efforts recently too by elected officials. Like there's some at the federal level that are living on eating on the $6 a day or something like that it ends up breaking down to something like that. But just like in a point saying that like during this shutdown, they're going to, intentionally struggle the same way that, other people have. And this is my thing.
They're not.
This is my thing. Well, my thing is, the fact of the matter is the federal government has the power to fund SNAP.
But specifically Trump. Because that's been a point of contention SNAP with some of my, I would say, less educated conservative Negro friends that like to say different stuff or post
What'd they say? What'd they say? I ain't on food stamps. I go work every day.
Well, no, I mean, but that like they'll try to say, well, this is just propaganda. Trump has no control over this. Actually,
Yes,
a
he
judge
does.
ordered the Trump administration to use the contingency fund to fund it, but that still only will only cover 50%. And they said the remaining $600 million in the fund will be used for state administrative expenses and nutrition assistance for Puerto Rico and American Samoa, which are U.S. territories, by the way. I don't. Before anybody gets it twisted.
Mary and Joseph. Bad Bunny, we didn't put that in the list, but Bad Bunny is an American.
Yes.
I know y'all hate to see it.
But also, it said that in court papers filed Monday, the administration decided against pulling the additional $4 billion needed from other sources of money, which they could do. But the judge hasn't ordered them to do that yet. But the contingency, and by the way, ICE is still fully funded.
Still fully funded.
Like, we're still kidnapping people.
What they got, $50,000 bonus?
Probably.
With their $50,000 bonus.
We're still kidnapping people. We're paying for the kidnappings.
Still disappearing people. Still got the money for all of that, but we don't have the money to feed people. We still have billions of dollars to give Argentina, but we don't have the money to pay people here. We still have the money for that ballroom, but we don't have money to feed people. We still have money for everything.
Well, they'll say the ballroom is privately funded by people that all have government contracts.
Tell me it's privately funded, and then this magical $250 million lawsuit from Trump to the DOJ pops up for a $250 million ballroom. And guess what happens if he does get any kind of money from the DOJ? Whose money you think that is? That's not private money. That's our money.
If you're wondering where the federal government could fund this directly now, the Trump when I mean federal government, I mean Trump could fund this. The one funding source consists of leftover tariff revenue. Currently contains nearly $17 billion.
$17 billion that he has access to put back into SNAP. And here we are.
If people do not have SNAP benefits because Trump does not want them to have it.
That is 100%.
You can blame. I'm quick to blame the Democrats for a lot of things, but this is all Trump by himself. If he wanted them to have it, they'd have it.
And all Democrats are asking for is for the Republicans to come to the negotiation table around the healthcare subsidies for a marketplace that I just highlighted a second ago that benefits Republicans more than anybody else.
Also, the Democrats have tried to push for bills to actually just go fund SNAP while they go handle the rest of the mess. Republicans won't vote for it, so they keep on. And some folks is buying it. Republicans, of course, are buying it, but most people are not.
And I'm so grateful for that. It's some messaging that Democrats are finally getting right. Praise God that Democrats are winning the communications game.
Finally. I still think they could do better, but they
could do better.
But it needs to be understood. Trump, the reason that people do not have SNAP benefits is Donald J. Trump.
I wish they would send a letter to every single SNAP SNAP recipient and let them know that just like how he wanted to make sure his name was signed on them checks. Remember that?
Yep. On this too.
Put his name on this too. Put his name
because he's doing it. I mean, for the two federal judges to make them use the contingency fund, and then they still it's malicious compliance on Trump's part. Well, we're going to go clarify because we don't know how to do this. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
You fund everything else you want.
And they propose, even here locally, they propose that some of our Democrat state representatives propose that we use our surplus to supplement.
Which
SNAP.
we have like $4 billion ourselves.
We have plenty. And the Republicans said, we have no.
We don't have a payment system
in which to get money. So they're saying, SNAP is run by the federal government and directly funded by some third party that the federal government uses.
Because this is a tech problem. What is all this money we're invested in tech?
I asked very simply, what about the Sunbucks, the pandemic EBT? because they sent out additional cards and loaded
But
them.
didn't they cancel that program too?
Yes, he canceled. That's the first thing Braun did.
Can't bring it back. And all this tech money and subsidies, nobody can figure this out. Like, well, then
You
what's
can
the
mail
point?
out some cards that you can load. It wouldn't be that hard.
Trump and Braun do not want people to have SNAP and EBT because that's why this is happening.
That's a fact.
They have a choice. Both of them have choices.
Yep.
And they have chosen to starve the people.
Yep. That's a fact.
Cruelty is the purpose.
Cruelty is the purpose. And selfishness. All they care about is what they want. And all they care about is a win too.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's the win more than anything else.
Yeah, there's Republicans talking about like because even just a second ago I referenced this whole situation as like a game, right? But the fact of the matter is that's what they do.
They're playing chicken.
Yes, they are playing chicken.
While they eating they eating chicken, but it's going to be the chicken, the people's chicken that's gone. Like they ain't gonna be eating.
It's horrible. And I hope at the end of this video, I think I'm going to go ahead and add the different locations that are giving away food to. I've seen a few graphics in the city, folks giving away food so that you all can share those resources. Or maybe, you know what, maybe I'll just link some social media posts in the description. That's what I'll do. I'll link some social media posts so you guys can share those flyers with your networks. I know we have a lot of leaders that watch this podcast, but we got to do what we can until somebody gets a brain and figures out how we get we
have all the brawn.
Stamps.
We got all brawn, but
all
no brain.
brawn, but no brains. Lord Jesus. Okay. Next thing, because now we got to go quick.
Yeah.
Now we got to go kick wild. Okay. Hovito. So for those of you who don't know, I know it was really big in the Black community because this is more so like a Black establishment.
It is, but already you've got Rokita talking about and rumors that they're going to send in the National Guard because more than likely 3 Black people were shot in a Black nightclub downtown. Of course, I'm sure Rokita cares about Black people.
He does not. In case you didn't hear the sarcasm.
But 3 Black people were shot in Hovito Ultra. I don't know. They all have
they have lounge. Different lounge. Yeah, Hovito something lounge, and they and you were talking about how our police chief came out after this shooting.
Immediately, the shooting happened at I want to say like 1:30 in the morning on what was it, Saturday night, and I think by that morning our police
people were still in costume too, which that was after Halloween.
Yeah, it was.
Or was it on Halloween?
No,
was it Friday night?
Halloween was Friday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were. I think they were still in costume for Saturday night.
Okay.
But so, of course, the police chief, and he has a tendency to get up in front of the news cameras with righteous indignation that these Negroes have done it again, and he's angry and all this, and which I understand being angry. I don't know about the righteous indignation part that he always seems to have, but he says some true things. He this was preventable. We continue to see over-serving, intoxicated patrons, little to no security, and employees drinking on duty.
Yep.
Then there are too many bars are pushing their problems onto the streets for IMPD to handle at the expense of taxpayers. I agree.
Yes.
And what went on at Hovito is we'll talk about that.
We found out later. Yeah.
But Chief Bailey likes to get in these interviews and shoot first and ask questions later. And he says, I will be meeting with the excise superintendent and working with lawmakers to strengthen laws that govern how and when bars can operate. Now, it says, strengthen laws that govern how and when bars can operate. Sir, you are the police. You're not there. If you want to run for the legislature to go change the laws, that's fine. But you are the police, and your department has not used all the laws and tools available on South Meridian for over a decade.
And I understand the how. I don't understand the when.
Yes, I don't know.
I don't
I don't know
understand the
what went on with that.
I feel like I understand the how, because I think police can inform legislators about how, like, security requirements or things like that for these establishments, because unfortunately we don't like to acknowledge it, but when you add alcohol to anything, usually it gets worse.
You get a bit of stupidity.
Yeah, things
Liquid
usually
courage,
get worse.
all sorts
So
of things.
you have armed people in a club.
Which should
You
have
throw
never
alcohol
happened.
on it. It should never happen. Just throw alcohol in that situation, and yes, it is out of control, and yes, something should happen. But, I also wanted to point out that we don't talk about the other 300 days a year that these establishments operate with zero issue, right? Like, we only even hear of it when something really bad is happening. And this is now I'm not going to say that, like, bars are notoriously known for just, little spats and things like that,
throughout
right?
history, right?
Yeah, little spats and whatever, but the full blown shooting people, like multiple people,
inside the club.
This is not a common occurrence.
I think it's been years since this happened, but the last time I think was in Brightwood, and a woman pulled the gun out of her bra and handed it to a man, and then he shot people.
Lord Jesus!
Like, she got through. Like, that was some coordinated stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
The point being is, Chief Bailey said all of this without telling people, okay, did they have security?
Right.
Was the security on the take? What was going on? And they, now
he didn't tell us the justification for, or the background information on why he's saying it.
Right. Like, I just want more power. Well, no, why don't we find out what happened? Because if there is corrupt security firms out here, we need to know about it.
That's a fact.
If these owners and all the people that own nightclubs and are promoters, they just recycle.
Yep.
They always stay in there. If these people are running this with no security, we need to know who these people are. If there was if the owners were in on a shooting or something, we need to know that. But one of the issues I have about him making the statement is that IMPD was known to have deep relationships with several of those clubs on South Meridian for years. Mm-hmm. In fact, Gary Owen has a comedy bit about it. And he directly names IMPD as basically being corrupt and being a part of actual police brutality and brutality from the security.
That's true.
We are the we are the laughing stock, literally, because Gary Owen, and it was hilarious skit, but he couldn't have made all this up. Maybe he embellished some of it, but he couldn't have made all this up. We are the laughing stock because of IMPD's relationships with some of these nightclubs. And now we have a police chief who's all of a sudden asking for more power. Well, when these incidents were going on years ago, where people were saying they were getting drugged, people were getting beat up by security in front of IMPD all the time at some of these nightclubs, y'all didn't go do the reports. Y'all didn't go do the investigations and get the charges. And so the liquor board didn't take anybody's license because they had nothing to take it for.
I'm curious, and in our state, unfortunately, private business ownership and stuff, they always win, just like private landlords and stuff. Like, they always win unless you can really bring some kind of credible case. And if you don't have the evidence of a credible case, it's dead. I'm curious too, though, that, like, I just want to make the point that I don't hate that IMPD will stay out of certain things.
I agree, but I think when it becomes, it was funny because I put some stuff out. Like, I think, that some of the stuff that went on South Meridian was because people had special relationships with IMPD. And I didn't say any names, and everybody went on there and started naming the clubs. Everybody's laughing. They're all telling stories. Everybody knew about it. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And it's you can't have it both ways. If your organization, the police, sat there and turned a blind eye, maybe participated in some of it, and now all of a sudden you need more power. No, just do your job.
Yeah,
just do your job.
Yeah.
I don't want Chief Bailey deciding when people can leave their house, because Chief Bailey has made done horrible things in my neighborhood, like as far as shutting down access to Martin Luther King on Sundays. Nobody was serving alcohol out there. There was no club out there. People just wanted to congregate. He shut that down. In on days that there are other Black events going on in the neighborhood, I paid attention to this. Then they shut down Riverside Park because it's like, well, you Negroes can only have one place. Y'all should have been over at the Mike Epps thing, so they shut down Riverside Park for that. Like this is the stuff that goes on. I don't want Chief Bailey doing that. He doesn't have a respect for Black people and Black culture. And I see that this gives him a leverage to go after establishments that cater to Black people. Yeah. And when you start talking about when they can operate, well, what does that mean?
Yeah, no, they definitely don't get the win. I get the advocacy around the how and how we can do this, more safely and stuff like that, especially around security and stuff. Because I have a lot of questions around the fact that there was 3 guns in that.
They need to be called to the carpet for that. But I think that's also an investigative report that's simply handed to the excise board. The liquor board goes off of information that you hand them. Yeah. But there's also got to be checks and balances.
I hope they do.
They do.
I hope they do. Are they appointed? They're appointed. Right?
Yeah. But I've known people that have been on it. Like, and they look at what information and sometimes, and also what the community is saying. Yeah. IMPD has an incredible bully pulpit to come into those meetings and present evidence and all that. But it needs to be some checks and balances. Yeah. Chris Bailey has his hands full dealing with IMPD, and we all know, I'm not going to rehash all of my issues and your issues and our issues together with it. Right. He doesn't need to be deciding all the operations about the liquor board either. No. I think you're right. One of the best things we can do is make sure that we're handling things on the front end by handling like the issues as they arise. So then if it culminates to something, there's something to build up. Yeah. No, I think you going in and showing them that Hovito either didn't have security at all or some of the owners had bypassed it. I mean, there's all types of rooms. So I don't want to get Hovito.
Care about Black people. Listen, care about Black people all the time.
All the time.
All the time. Especially when they're coming into your establishment, they're thinking they're safe because they're being patted down or
and that's the worst thing. Is you going into a place and thinking that there's security and there's not.
Right. Yeah, no. That's out of pocket. So we'll definitely continue to keep y'all up to date on that, especially if there's more details and stuff. I'm hoping that we get maybe another interview or so at least before the holidays. May not get a whole nother episode before the holidays, but definitely at least another interview. Yeah. So next up, we're gonna hit these next ones really fast because we only have a few minutes left. I didn't want to go too far over an hour. The Brightwood data center, I know we're coming late to it because we haven't recorded for the whole month of October, but obviously their terrible city councilor Ron Gibson was working with a place that was trying to bring a data center.
It is still working.
It's still working, Lord.
The update I got this morning right before I headed over here was that I'll read it. That Metro Blocks, that is the data center company, has filed for rezoning late yesterday. They're going to try to push this through.
They're going to try to force it anyway. So let me tell y'all, as the president of the Far East Side Community Council, one of the things that I deal with a lot is actually rezoning and stuff. You all need to go to that meeting. You need to see. So every nonprofit neighborhood group, whatever. So like One Voice over there, all of them, Ed Martin Christian Center, the CDC, everybody will get a letter about when that date is for their hearing. And all of y'all need to show up. Y'all need to show up in person.
Like everybody did for the protest, which was incredible.
Yes, you need to show up in person and testify and let those people know that you do not want this in your community. You do not want this zone change. And also, make sure you put that point in there. that the damage that the zone change can do, because I don't know what kind of zone they need for a data center, but whatever it is, it would allow other harmful things. So find the use table. Okay, there's a use table for what certain zones allow. So like for us, I try to stay away from C5 as much as I can, because that
that's
gives
anything.
yeah, that's
That's a
literally
free-for-all.
anything. It's a free for all, but more importantly, it could be a porn shop, it could be a liquor store, it could be predatory lending, it could be anything. So make sure that you guys look up that use table, see all of the things that are allowed under that zone that they're trying to change it to, and just kill all of it, because it is up to y'all to look out for the long-term development future of this lot and of Brightwood.
And don't let anybody tell y'all that y'all don't deserve, just because it's been vacant.
Yeah. No. And I don't care how long it's been vacant. I had that. People brought up that argument to me too.
Yeah,
and I don't care how long it's been vacant. That doesn't mean that this is the best that can happen or the best that can be done. And the good thing is right now you have a whole lot of attention on this lot. It'd be a really great time to go find somebody else who could do something, maybe even housing, because it's not a brownfield. Like
and also, find somebody to actually cut the grass on the lot, because the previous 15 years of this lot, it was taken care of, and then when this new owner that wants to put the data center got it, they quit taking care of it. They made it blighted.
So that y'all would be willing to accept anything to just so that something would be done with it. Don't fall for that. It could be something that could actually benefit your community. I bring this up a lot with rezoning, but they tried to rezone the lot I'm sitting in right now at P30. They tried to rezone it to put a diesel gas station right here.
Oh, wow.
They wanted to put a diesel gas station for trucks. And it is true. We do not have any truck gas stations anywhere near here. And we do have a lot of trucks that come through here. Both are true. But we believed that this space could be something better. It could be something better. And let me tell you, the zone had nothing to do with the gas station. It was already zoned appropriate for a gas station. They needed to change the zone so that they could have a little mini restaurant in the gas station. And we shut that down, and shutting that down killed the whole gas station. And once that happened, we got this. You cannot tell me what these rezone fights can do for your community. I promise you. Ron is telling you that, oh, well, who else is invested? It's because he's lazy and he doesn't do the work. Go find somebody who's willing to invest in your community, who's willing to build something. People profit off of the things that they build. Okay? This is not, you don't have to go into this as like you're some kind of beggar. No, you have community support and community voices. Find something that you guys want to be there. Find some people that can make it happen. Make it mutually beneficial for everybody, and then get that thing done. That's how it can get done in development. That's how it can get done. And so don't believe him. Believe in yourselves and believe that
you deserve
Brightwood deserves more.
That you deserve more.
You do. You deserve a better leader too, by the way.
Yeah.
But there's that. So real quick, I am not going to spend a long time on this, and we are not going to fight, and y'all are not about to be in my comments going crazy. But so we know that a major Black pastor was arrested earlier in October, right? Yeah, earlier in October. And I don't want to go through all the details of that. I think it was super unfortunate on all sides. I genuinely pray for everybody involved, because those are just super difficult family situations, okay? Now, what I did not like, though, to see, and this is important because we have a Black media outlet, but for the people who came after Black Indie Live for reporting it was insane and out of pocket. In a time that media is being controlled and manipulated and threatened, and we know that that is a precursor to much more horrible things, okay? We cannot have our media controlled. And when you have something that comes up that is this relevant to the community that you claim that you serve, you have to report this. You have to. And that is the only way that we have unbiased reporting, is that you report the things, whether they're good or bad, because they're relevant to that community. And him being arrested is something that we should know as Black people, period. And I am glad that Black Indie Live posted that and shared that, and then continued to give updates every step of the way, both when they made their own statement and then when they got more details from the police report. And every step of the way, They gave updates. Like, that is what you want from a news outlet. That is what you want. They didn't make the titles more salacious than what they were. They reported exactly what it was, that a mega church pastor here was arrested for domestic violence, and that was all the details that they had at the time, and that's what the title was.
And I think even when he gave updates, people were still upset and everything else. Look, if the story had been 100% the way the pastor's son had told it, then him putting up that news story was absolutely necessary, because we should have been up there protesting and breaking down the doors of that jail, because police had wrongfully taken a prominent, probably the most prominent black pastor,
the most prominent
black pastor in Indiana unlawfully. But that's not exactly the whole story,
right?
So, like, when we talk about, like, us self-censoring our media because maybe some church folks don't like it, it don't work like that.
We gotta and we have to get out of that. Like, we talked a little bit about this off camera, but we have a culture as Black people. We talk about family business, right? We keep certain family business behind closed doors, but unfortunately, as soon as you called the police, it was not family business.
It's police business now.
As a leader,
and that's public business.
Yes, and as a leader in the community, once that thing leaves your house, it's not family business anymore. It's really not. It becomes public, whether you want it to or not, whether it's right or wrong. That's the thing too, is people were so set on what was right, what was wrong. I don't see anything wrong. I don't see anything wrong. I don't see anything wrong.
Reporting it is that's for you. If you don't think it's an issue, then don't.
Period.
And also, if you 100% believe the narrative, then you would have been asking all of the activists and community organizers to go get a caravan to go up there.
And we would have.
And I would have.
To be clear.
I absolutely would have. But
100%.
Because the police wrongfully taking a black man of his position is dangerous to all of us.
It's dangerous to all of us. We would have 100% went up there to protest and advocate it. Unfortunately, this was just a messy family situation where that police were brought in by him. Police were brought into this situation. And if they had not acted in that moment and then things unfolded in an even more unfortunate way, we would have had criticism for that. Like, massive
criticism.
We
lost Marvin Gaye to a situation almost identical to this.
Yes.
I don't think people understand that.
Yes. And police, to your point, police being called early on, them having an altercation, and because they were not separated in any way, right? It led to his death. Like, you don't know which situations are going to be life and death until they happen. And that's like, we can't. But my bigger point in all of this was, and what really made me mad, is the judgment of Black Indie Live. And simply because they covered it.
It's the news.
Simply because
you're not gonna always like what's on the news.
You're not. I never like it. I usually never like it. We turn on the news. You never turn on the news and it's not somebody killed. Somebody looks like us. Somebody in our communities. Somebody that we grew up with.
But we still need to know.
But we still should know. And that's what I want. I want to get y'all out of that. It's that trying to, put those blinders on. It's not good for anybody. It's not good for anybody, especially you.
And if the pastor needed our help, then the information would have needed to gone out.
It would have needed to have gone out. It would have needed to have gone out. And at that phase, you don't know yet. You're just reporting on what you do know. So, okay, we're to the rundown. We're going to do this quickly. The first thing is no new childcare vouchers until 2027. We told you all the ridiculousness at the start of this show. And at the very least, they can't even give us childcare vouchers for an entire year.
But you better have that baby.
You gotta have that.
You gotta have that baby. We jailing you. But no EBT, SNAP, or childcare vouchers.
We already talked about this, but obviously Indiana Republicans I don't even know if they're trying to figure out a way to supplement SNAP.
They're not.
But we talked about that before. To the Justice Center boys, like 0 for 20, y'all. What the freak? It's brand new and they can't figure it out. They can't figure out how to keep themselves safe.
No,
anybody else safe. They can't even figure out how to keep criminals in jail.
I mean, the one guy ran off.
In shackles.
They released they released the wrong twin.
The wrong twin. They released the wrong twin. They've had a death October 3rd, September 4th, August 25th. They said most of them were like overdoses, but still, I mean, Jesus, you're losing somebody every month.
Who was the one guy that the corrections officer that was and it was like only like a couple of $1,000, and he was like running contraband in there too.
Jesus,
I forgot about it. Yeah. I mean, Marion County sheriffs are having a hard time in that $600 million jail.
I said 0 for 20. They're probably like 0 for 50. It's rough. Y'all got to figure that out.
I swear they told us that $600 million jail would solve these problems. Anyway.
Let me tell you, never mind. I'm just not. Yatvac.
That's a new Mediterranean spot.
It is Youth Alternatives to Violence and Crime. Woo. It is a new group that Wish TV launched. And I mean, I kind of feel neutral about it right now.
I don't.
I was
the access of evil.
I was encouraged by several names I saw on the list of the people leading this.
But
I was also discouraged by several names I saw on the list of leadership for this situation. To me, when I saw this, and I could be wrong because I have not spoken to them yet, but I know that they've been hosting Voices podcast on Wish TV, Real Talk and stuff. So this felt like it's some kind of, which is with the youth. So this felt like some kind of like progression in that relationship. We're not sure if it's a progression or a co-op.
Sounds like co-op. Is there any young people on this?
Time will certainly tell.
There are certainly several elderly people on here, starting with Reverend Charles Harrison of the Indianapolis 10-Point Coalition, who should be on no board and should be defrocked. You can quote me on it. He should be defrocked as a Methodist minister. In fact, I sent people to his bishop one time.
Shut up.
I did. He should be defrocked, and the new bishop should hear about it too. Aaron Williams from Google, but he's former Deputy Mayor Oljan Williams' son. Another extremely problematic person that hates black people.
Our
on
old
here.
friend Hogsett Jr. is on there too.
Who's Hogsett Jr.?
You know who Hogsett Jr. is. His name's on there.
Oh. The op. The op.
The op.
The op.
He'll get a new nickname every few months.
I mean, honestly, if you're putting together an advisory group about youth violence, what are these people actually
some of them just didn't fit. Some of them just didn't fit. Like, I know, like, youth, when it comes to youth violence and they're talking about curfews and things like that, like, having IMPD on there.
They have to be on there.
Yeah. Having Virginia Kane.
Have to be on there.
Having
the Marion County
Kia,
Health Department.
Kia, who I love with Voices.
Yeah, that's great.
Youth organization representation. And Demita too. Like, all of them. Like, all of that stuff is understandable. I get it. Got it. Good. But there's several others.
There are several problematic people on here. And there's some good people that I always want to shout out. Like, I like Tony Mason. I like Dr. Johnson on here, but there is enough bad people on here that I can't get behind this.
Yeah. Because
I don't know who's actually in charge.
I definitely and I need to definitely want to know more. And maybe we can get somebody on the show to talk about it. We probably could. Yeah. We probably could. Maybe that's something because
we need to know who's really running this.
Yeah. Well, that's really there's one more shout out. So right now we are running our Thanksgifting Baskets fundraiser. For those of you who aren't familiar, every year my nonprofit and our collective, we raise money to give away Thanksgifting baskets. And so they do not have traditional things. They don't have food in them. They have dishes and a table runner and silverware and a Visa gift card. We're giving people money, right?
Love it.
They have serving trays and roasters, so basically everything that you need to sit down and have a meal together that you can continue to reuse every year, right? One of the things that we didn't like about giving away Thanksgiving meals, and it's just like a one and done thing. And what we really want to do is encourage family engagement and them sitting down at the table. I think for anybody, the first thing you want to do when you get something new is use it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're hoping that as we give families these dishes, this flatware sets, and it's nice stuff. I mean, nice stuff I put in my house. Nice stuff. As we give this stuff away, we're encouraging families to sit down together, have meals, and just encourage that family unit. So that's what we're doing. We would love for y'all to give. I'll put the QR code on the screen for our Givelify. Each basket is about $200. If you can sponsor one, that'd be great. Our goal is to give away 20 this year. If you cannot sponsor a full one, listen, anything you can give is definitely appreciated. We've had people already give $10, $15, $25. Like that is super helpful. So just wanted to put that out there. Other than that, like, share, subscribe, comment, y'all. Let us know what you want us to see us cover, maybe guests that we should have on here. We've also talked about having guest hosts, so people who will run down topics with us. Maybe we'll get somebody on here. Maybe y'all favorite councilman. Maybe we'll get him on here to do like a guest host situation. We'll see. But would love to figure that kind of stuff out. So definitely communicate with us. Let us know your thoughts. And that's it. Make sure you subscribe if you're not. I think that's it for today. Thank y'all so much for watching.
Peace out.